Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dawgz and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We will get you out of here before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in, because that's what we do here on the Drive Thru, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Different live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and deliver those winners of professional handicappers over Pick Dawgz and Sports Chat Place. We'll meet the cappers and get right to the picks so we don't mess around here on the Drive Thru. Let's say hello to Wayne. Wayne, what's going on?
What's going on, Tony T? Excited to give out some free plays for the fellas. Got some nice ones, and ready to get over this little hump. Been 500 the last couple of days, so ready for have a winning day for me.
Yeah, I hear you there. Let's hello to Rod. Rod, what's going on?
No, not too much. Continuing the hot streak in college basketball, so can't complain there. Hockey has been a little bit rough, so I've treaded lightly since the return of the Four Nations that hadn't treated me so good. So, but NBA is not bad as well, in the green there. So definitely last week was good. Continuing into this week, let's keep it rolling. Can't get too high on yourself when you're hot, and can't get too low when you're struggling, because we have those up and downs in this business. So I'm excited. Massive slate of games here. Some great ones in college basketball, good ones in the NBA, and some great ones on the ice as well. So
Yep.
Let's get to it.
Winding down college hoops, no doubt about that. Let's say hello to Damon. Damon, what's going on?
How you doing, Tony? I've been a little bit up and down the last few days, but I'm looking to finish the season off strong. We got a pretty good looking slate of games here going in, and a lot of sports here tonight. Anxious to get to it.
Let's get to it indeed. Let's get to the NBA tonight on this Cards 7-game card. We'll knock them in 2 blocks. We'll start here with the first 3 here, as we'll get our graphic up for you here from the NBA. Celtics and Raptors here going head-to-head here. Let me go ahead and get the right screen up here. Go Celtics and Raptors. We see the Celtics down a little bit, down to 11.5. Total sits here at 226. Also in this spot, we will have Cavaliers and Magic. Here we see the Cavaliers coming in here at 7.5-point road favorites. Total sits 219.5. Spurs and Pelicans. The Pelicans 2.5. Total sits here at 149. So in these first 3 spots here, we'll tell you who's in and who's out. Boston and Toronto. Looks like Holiday, Cornette, and Horford will be out for Boston. On the Toronto side, no Ingram, no Portal, no Tucker. Grady Dick is probable. Cleveland and Orlando. Garland remains questionable. Suggs out for Orlando. In that Spurs game, we've got no Basie and Boston out for New Orleans. New Orleans fairly about the healthiest they've been all season. So let's get this one underway here with Damien.
Yeah, I'm not going to lay the points here with Boston. I know this is the front end of a back-to-back, but you mentioned the guys out for the Celtics. Nothing they can't overcome. They're a deep team. They're probably slated into the number 2 spot overall, but they've really been rolling the competition here since the All-Star break, and I think that continues with the Raptors. And then another game here I'm looking at, I like the Magic with the points against the Cavs. I know the Cavs are really hot. They've won 7 in a row. But they've had trouble with the Magic in Orlando. The Magic have won 4 of the last 5 against Cleveland in Orlando. They're a good defensive team. Cavs probably looking a little bit ahead here to the Celtics on Friday night. So I'm going to take the Magic with the points in that one.
There from Damien. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, and then looking at these 2 games here, I kind of like the Celtics in the first half. I don't know about full game, the way things are rolling, but we know Jakob Poeltl kind of looking maybe a full game as well, because he's been like the unsung guy for this Raptors club. I like when he's in there. They play a little better while he's in there. When he's out, it's been a different story. But Boston first half, first quarter, I like. In full game, that number might be a little big. Boston looking ahead, bigger game later in the week versus the Cavs play later in the week, right? So it's like, and I know we held them up at the border and stuff. Second of them back-to-back as well. So I like Boston to come out hot. They come out and play well in that first quarter, first half. I don't know about the full game there in that matchup. And this Magic game, I like the under. It definitely dropped a little and keep dropping, but at 220, still too many points. The Magic at home playing some solid defensive basketball, and I know you look at Cleveland and it's just like that offense is going to smash, right? Well, no, they got a defense as well. So I think both defenses come to shine. Closer to a first to 110 wins that game, which gets us under the total in that matchup of 220. It's dropped I'm going to say in the last 15 minutes. It was 220.5. It's now down to 220. So jump on it now. Take the under.
Yeah, from Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Wayne.
I have nothing in that Boston Toronto. Don't really trust Boston laying that many points, even though they've been playing well in Toronto. Um, Solid covering team at the beginning, but kind of been falling off in their last one, so I don't like that game. And I have a premium in the Cleveland Orlando game, so I got some for you on the next slate.
There from Wayne. Tell you what I think about these games. I pretty much like the favorites in this spot. The one of the favorites, the one I'd like the most, I trust the most, would be the Pelicans in this spot. As I mentioned earlier, Pelicans seem to be the most healthiest they've been all season, which is with Boston now, just some reserve there. We're looking at San Antonio, just been a team that's really struggled, failing to cover 7 of 9, and they're 1-9 against the division this year. So it's not been very good here. Pelicans play a little better defense over their past 5 games, holding teams at 43% shooting. Of the favorites, of these 3 favorites, I like the Pelicans the best. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we continue here on this NBA rundown. We'll close out the NBA here with these final 4 games on the 7-game schedule. Tomorrow we'll have 9, so we'll have at least 3 blocks of 3. But here, next block, here we go with the Bucks and Rockets. The Rockets 3.5, total 227.5. And then we move on to the, let's see what is happening here. We're stopping. Oh, here we go. Hornets and Warriors here. Look at this one. Warriors here, 17.5, total 217.5. Let's see if we can back this one up again here. See if we missed any of these other games on the previous side. Let's see here. This thing is acting up. Mavericks and Lakers now. The Lakers here laying 9, total 231.5 in one of the marquee matchups here of the evening. No doubt about that. There's going to be a lot of Luka there in Dallas. I know there's a lot of talk there. What other game did we miss? We got the Dallas game, we got the Bucks game, we got the Suns and Grizzlies here. Let's see, maybe we find, here we go, Suns and Grizzlies. Let's get back to the Suns. Grizzlies is the one we missed here. Grizzlies here going to lay 7.5, total 245 there in that spot. Of course, we've covered the rest of them here, so we got you covered on the games. Let's take a look at the injury reports here for these final 4 games on the slate for tonight. And we'll be looking here at Bucks and Rockets. Connaughton, Portis, and Robbins out for Milwaukee. Gary Trent and Giannis will be probable. On the Houston side, no Zeller. We see Van Fleet, Tate, and Brooks all questionable, so we can see possibly Van Fleet back in the lineup tonight. Phoenix and Memphis. Martin is out for Phoenix. Morris is questionable. On the Memphis side, Poulin is out. So Memphis pretty much got all their guys tonight. Charlotte and Golden State, you know, the Charlotte here on a back-to-back. No Salon, no Ogoji, no Jeffries. LaMelo Ball is out of this one. Ball, just horrible shooting nights, back-to-back games. Just brutal there against Portland. I think it was like 1 of 13. I think it was like 3 of 14 yesterday. Just not shooting the ball, but he's not playing tonight. He's out. For the Warriors, no Kuminga, no Armstrong. Jackson Davis, questionable there for the Warriors. Dallas and the Lakers here. We've got no Martin, no Lively, no Gafford, no Davis. P.J. Washington and Powell are both questionable. On the Lakers side, no Kleber and James probable. So there you are, caught up with the injuries here in this block, and we started off here with Damian.
Okay, I'm going to lay the number here with the Grizzlies against the Suns. Phoenix has really been struggling, lost 4 of 5. Defense has just been awful. Memphis has already beaten them 2 times this season. And I think they make it a third here tonight, covering the number. And I'm actually going to take the points here with the Hornets. I mean, I know they've been awful. They've losing by 53 and 42 points the last 2 games. They can only improve, right? I mean, this is a veteran Warriors team. Once the Warriors get up by 70 or 80, I think they take the foot off the gas, and Memphis comes in and covers the number. They don't win the game, but they're going to cover the Charlotte comes in and covers the number there at the end.
There from Damian there. All right, next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, I agree with Memphis there. I'm going to lay that big number with the Grizzlies there in that matchup. You look at the Suns, third game, 4-night situation. Well, on the road, they're 0-9 straight up and 1-8 against that number in a third game, 4-night situation. On the season, 3-12 in a third game, 4-night situation, straight up 2-12 against that number. So tough spot for the Suns. While the Grizzlies, I guess, teams with losing records, 20-7 ATS this season. This is a smash spot, please. There and now when they beat up on the Suns double-digit win there in that matchup. The other one I like here in this time spot, you know what? It's like those guys. I wish all those guys were going to be announced in for the Rockets, but if they do, that line will shoot up. So you know what? I'm going to jump on the Rockets here in this one, even if a couple of those guys don't play that you mentioned game time decisions there. I think this line is where it is for a reason. I like the Rockets here at home. They play their better ball. I know they haven't looked good over their last 5 games. Only 1 of 4 ATS. Smash spot for the Rockets here in this one over the Bucks, who played a little more basketball. So Houston's got a little bit rest advantage there in that matchup as well. And then Dallas taking the Lakers. Big game of the night. I'm going to call it the big blowout of the night because I'm going to take the Lakers minus 19.5 plus 350. Wow. Look at what Dallas has been doing. It's been close, and they've covered some numbers, but I think it's just a spot. Look what the Lakers have been doing defensively, surprisingly. Over their last 5 games, they've been holding teams down. Playing more solidly defensively than the numbers that we figured we would see from this Lakers team. Figured run and gun. Well, if actually the run and gun has turned into also them playing some really good run and gun defense as well. So I like the Lakers big in that one. Minus 19.5 plus 350.
There we go from Ron. Next up over to Wayne.
Yeah, my apologies. I didn't know that San Antonio and New Orleans was in the first time slot, so I'll speak on that one first. I like the over. No Wemby. Expect for this San Antonio defense to keep sliding in the other direction. On the flip side of that, they had a rough offensive performance. Wasn't really much the Pelicans was doing defensively, more so them just having a rough offensive performance. I definitely see them bouncing back in this spot. And on the flip side of that, New Orleans getting healthier, scoring more at home. As I said, don't really love neither one of these defense, so I'm going to ride the over in that spot. And Phoenix, Memphis, I like the under here. I feel like this line is very inflated, as the fellas have mentioned. Phoenix, 3rd game in 4 days. I do feel like both of these teams are giving up 120 in their last 3, but I don't feel like this game is going to kind of go that direction how they've been playing. Memphis coming off a 5-game road skid. I do see them maybe not scoring as much as they normally do at home. And I expect Phoenix to fight here on the defensive side. So I'm going to ride the under 245.5 in that spot.
There from Wayne. Tell you what, some of the games here I like here in this time block here. I like the Bucks here plus the points. Milwaukee here it coming into this game. Over their past 5 games, they're shooting 48%, but their defense in pretty good form, allowing 43% shooting. Rockets a bit of a shooting slump, and they have failed to cover 7 of 8, these Rockets. So I'll look at Milwaukee plus the points there as well here. I'm going to take the points with Dallas in this one. Mavs have covered 7 of 8. Despite being short-handed, they've been finding ways to cover these spreads, and it's because they've been shooting 48% and 39% from 3, and they've been defending the three-point line very well. So I'll look here. I'll look at Kyrie and company here and Clay. You got Kyrie and Clay on the court, so there's still some quality there on the court for this Dallas team. So I'll look at the plus the points there. I was gonna go under, but I don't like the line move. It's too much of a line move from Charlotte and Golden State from the 222.5 down to 217. I'm just going to stay away from it because at first glance I went under. Now with the ball out there, it goes under. But I'll just make note here: Hornets are 8-2 to the under in back-to-back games, and the Warriors not really the best shooting form, but they look better since coming off that All-Star break. So maybe the end point should be for the Warriors coming off the All-Star break, not looking at past 5, past 10, because this Warrior team looks a lot different coming off the All-Star break. But I'll stay away from that one. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we go to switch on over the college basketball now. For tonight's action, we'll knock them out in 2 blocks, and I'll give you guys the time windows here in just a second. We do have a game beginning here in about 10 minutes. Just one game, bottom of the hour, coming up here, and we'll get to it here in just a second. Let me just go ahead and move past this rescheduled game that we have on board. Okay, so we will cover in this block here the 6:30, and we'll include the 7:30, because there's a lot of 7 Eastern games here. So 6:30 and include 7:30 in this first block. And we'll just give you a peek of what we'll be looking at in some of these games here tonight. As you can see, a lot of small conferences. We got some bigger conferences here today on a Tuesday. versus yesterday, where it was a lot of smaller conferences. But we still have our share. Here's your Big Ten game. We got some MAC action in there. A lot of MACs coming in. Well, look at Richmond getting 15 at home. What has happened to the Spiders? I used to trust this team, but man, I've been burned with them way too many times of getting points, man. They've not been good to me. We saw Florida and Georgia there just a while ago here. Florida, that's one's come down a bit. It was 7 earlier, now down to 6.5 there in that do or die game here for Georgia. They got to start pulling up wins. Some ACC down conference this year. Look at this. Providence and Marquette. Marquette just keeps going up now, at 13.5 in this one. So a big one there from the Big East. Of course, St. Louis and Davidson, your A-10 action. Cincinnati and Baylor going head-to-head there, as you can see. A lot more Sun Belt coming in here as well. We've got Murray State, Indiana State. We got Missouri Valley. Action. I'm actually, what do we call this? The Arch Madness starts next Thursday, right? Arch Madness. So they're winding up play here in Missouri Valley. So Arch Madness not too far away. Looks like I went a little farther there. We're going to stop here at the 7:30 in this spot. So 7:30 is the last game in this block. So let's get this one underway here with Damien.
Yeah, a couple big favorites actually that I like here in this first block. The first one being Duke. I know Miami is playing some better ball right now, but since Duke lost to Clemson, they reeled off 4 straight wins, winning by 21, 36, 18, and 43 points. Like I said, Miami's playing better ball. Duke is just on another level right now. I think they really roll the Canes in Miami. Another one that I like is Marquette laying the big number here against Providence. Marquette coming off that bad loss to Villanova. They really actually haven't fared too well against the upper echelon of the Big East, but Providence isn't part of that upper echelon. They beat Providence by 28 earlier this season. They forced 22 turnovers. I believe they have 15 steals in that game, and we're going to steal the ball. That turns into quick, easy buckets. It's not like, all right, it's a walk, take that ball out of bounds, throw it in. These are steals that are leading right to points here. I think we see another route in this one. I'm going to lay the points with Marquette.
From Damien, next up we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me, looking at that Duke and Miami game, I like the over. It's slowly been on the rise. Books can't make it high enough. 152.5, still too light. Give me the over. Duke, Miami. Track meet there in that matchup. Duke probably drops 100 on Miami the way they've been rolling teams. I'm going to go the other way with that Providence and Marquette. I don't trust Marquette to be covering a big giant number. 1-4 ATS in the last 5 is Marquette, and I've seen it plenty of times as a big favorite. And then, yeah, Providence did get whooped by Marquette earlier this year, so revenge. Tough to beat the same team twice. Providence also off a bad loss, and where they didn't cover their last matchup. They're 22-5 when they in that spot where they bounce back big. So this is just too many points. Marquette wins by 8, 9. Providence gets the cover for me in that matchup. And then another one I'm looking at here. Speaking of some action, you look at Miami, Ohio. It's only they're only laying 13.5 at home in that matchup. Why isn't it a little more in that matchup? You look at Miami at home, 13-1 against the number, 20-7 on the year, and they're going against the Huskies team that's 0-14 on the road, 5-22 on the season, but they're 7-7 on the road against that spread, and I think it's just too much for Miami to be covering. I'll take give me Northern Illinois and the Huskies plus the 13.5 in that action game. And then one more I'm looking at here in this early slate of games is App State taking on Georgia Southern. I like the over in that one. It's at 139.5, and I think it's just too light on the total there. Both teams can score plenty enough to get us up and over the total. And then here's one more for you, another action. We got Ohio heading into Western Michigan. And you look at this game, the total in that matchup is 156.5, and I think it's about 9 points too high in that matchup. You look at Western Michigan at home. In their last 5 games at home, they've seen a total of 148 points or less in those games. So 156.5, give me the under, Ohio, Western Michigan.
Yeah, from Rod. Next up, we move on over to Wayne.
Yeah, and that App, Georgia Southern, I got to ride with App in this spot. I like 2 road teams in this spot. App's not a terrible team on the road. Defensive heavy team. Offense can get kind of stagnant in spots, but they've handled Georgia Southern in their last 3. I don't really see nothing changing from here. Nice line for App. They're a better team in this spot. I'm going to ride with App. And I like Northwestern over Minnesota getting the points. This line kind of tells me all I need to know. I do feel like Northwestern is the better team over Minnesota, but I do understand that they've had their struggles on the road. But it's just a spot where I feel like the better team is getting the better number. So I'm going to ride that despite their road woes. Give me Northwestern.
Yeah, with Wayne with Northwestern, he's going to download the app. He's not going to delete the app. He's downloading the app there from Wayne. All right, next up, I'll tell you what I like about these games. I'm going to take Georgia plus the points because they're very good home splits this season, shooting the ball and defending. Gators away from home at 45%. One of those Georgia teams, Georgia needs to start to wake up here if they want to get into the discussion here. On defense, the Bulldogs, they do force turnovers and they defend the three-point line very well. So I'll take them here against a Gators team that struggles at the free throw line, and they don't make their they don't force turnovers defensively. So I'll take Georgia there. Yeah, I'm with the Rod. I agree with taking Providence plus the points here. Friars are in really good shooting form. They're also 5-2 the spread as road dog, and third in effective field goal shooting in the Big East this season. And they've struggled on the glass. Has this Golden Eagles team, and you look at their past 5 games, there's 41% shooting and failing to cover 4 of these games. So I'll look at the Friars there in that spot. And, of course, what I always do here with Baylor, you take them at home and fade them on the road. I want nothing to do with Baylor on the road. I'll take Cincinnati here, laying that short number. Look at the Bearcats. The Bearcats finally figured out how to shoot the basketball over the past 5 games, 48% shooting. That's about the best they've been in conference play. They defended well at home. And looking at Baylor away from home, away from their home court, allowing 48% shooting, they have failed to cover 11 of 14 away from their home court. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we'll close out college hoops here with these games here. Of course, the coverage we cover from 8 Eastern all the way to 11 Eastern. We have some really good late-night action tonight here from Mountain West. Mountain West delivers a nice schedule, but the ones that you're going to see here, still some Sun Belts here. Missouri Valley, as we said before, Arch Madness begins next Thursday. We got one here, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. I think Rod has been kind of talking and mentioned about this game throughout from morning on to afternoon, something he was looking at. Mountain West contest as well. Washington, Wisconsin. Boy, these Huskies have not looked good this year. Wisconsin, what happened to you last Saturday, man? You blew that. Oregon came all the way back and beat you there. Wow. Iowa and Illinois. We see Illinois now up 10.5 there. I see a cap with Illinois on it. LSU have been a terrible team this year, but they beat Oklahoma at home, but Tennessee laying big numbers at home in that one. Of course, some ACC, Mississippi State and Alabama going head-to-head. We've got the TCU West Virginia game. Some Mountain West action late at night, Wyoming, Nevada. And here's our really good games at night. New Mexico, not State, New Mexico. I know they'll get pissed off for me over there at the Lobos. They won't like me saying that. New Mexico at San Diego State. State now favored 2.5, total 145. Gonzaga and Santa Clara, the late-night game here. Gonzaga, the team of Western Canada, is the favorite on the road. 6.5, total 162. We get it started here with Damien.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the points here with LSU against Tennessee. Tennessee coming off that real nice win over the weekend at A&M. LSU coming off a loss against Florida. The game that they actually led at halftime. Now they got beaten pretty good here in the second half, but they have the talent here. I think they can keep this within the number. Tennessee's got Bama on deck, so definitely a look-ahead spot here for the Volunteers. So I'm going to take LSU with the points in that one. I'm going to lay the points with Wisconsin against Washington. You touched on it, Tony. Wisconsin's kind of blowing that big lead against Oregon. I think Washington's just really struggled here in the Big Ten conference play. I think Wisconsin gets back on track here against the Huskies. And late night, I like Santa Clara here with the points against Gonzaga. I know Gonzaga's coming off that home loss here to St. Mary's. Santa Clara beat Gonzaga earlier this year. Gonzaga does have that revenge factor going, but they had that revenge factor going against St. Mary's too. And, they had St. Mary's at home. They got beat on their home floor. Santa Clara, the very high-scoring game. They're definitely not in the tournament, but with 2 wins against Gonzaga, it'll definitely give the committee something to think about. Santa Clara, I think, comes out, plays hard, and I'll take the points with the Broncos in that one.
There from Damien. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, looking at Iowa State taking on Oklahoma State. I was looking at whether Jones was going to play or Gilbert for Iowa State and the Cyclones. They didn't play last game versus Houston. They got the cover in that game, but didn't get the win. So it's one of those spots for Iowa State. You're playing an Oklahoma State team that really is toast, and they're awful, really awful. But this is a pretty big number here. Iowa State just wants wins. They're playing for a seeding position now. And the next game up, they play Arizona, which is one seeding ahead of them. So they want to bump up to that. So they're kind of looking ahead to that Arizona game. They win that one, they pass Arizona for third in the Big 12, and that's where you want to be seeded. So I guess this is a big game. They have the next man up. So it's still game time decision on both Gilbert and Jones in that matchup. So we've seen what they did against Houston. They kept it close. I think with Oklahoma State, I kind of lean into Iowa to run them out of the gym in that one. It's just one of those spots, though. It's do you trust Iowa State to be hammered down? I think they're going to be more hammered down in the next game. So it's a tough spot there. You figure bounce back. They need the wins, as you don't want to drop any lower in any standings whatsoever. So you want to be higher up in the seeding. But as I said, that Arizona spot, I don't know if they can get that much higher than that third spot in the seeding. So basically, one win over Arizona puts them in the third, and they're basically locked into there. So laying a big number. I think they do cover it. They are the better team versus in that matchup. And in the Gonzaga game tonight, I'm going to take the over track meet in that one. When those two teams play, when they get together, not a lot of defense is played. We've seen 202 scored in the first meeting between these clubs. And yes, the Santa Clara team did cover that 6.5 in that first matchup. So lean to them to cover again, but give me the over 162.5. Another track meet there in that matchup. And then you're looking at Nevada here laying 13.5. You trust Nevada laying 13.5? I don't. No, not trusting that with Alford coaching there in that one. Wyoming likes to get up for this game. Give me Wyoming plus the 13.5 in that one. And one more, as Tony alluded to. Yes, I do have the Illinois hat on for good reason. This Illinois club at home, they play solid defensive basketball, holding teams to 38.5% field goal shooting, holding teams to about 66, 67 points per game. While Iowa on the road, defensively, giving out 53.6% field goal shooting, 88 points per game on the road. Sure, their offense is good enough, but it's not going to be good enough here. I know that you look at Illinois, and sure, over the last 5 games, their defense has been ass, but they're back at home here in this one. This is one of those spots that Illinois just smothers Iowa and holds down their offense, and we see that how bad this Iowa defense really is. I got Illinois punching at least a 90 on Iowa or more. Iowa can score some points, but not enough. It's a 10-point win for plus. I think it's a 15-point win for Illinois in that one. They get the win and cover there. And give me the Lobos. I know it's tough to go into the take on San Diego State there in that matchup, but I'm going to take the Lobos on the money line. I think they do come in and beat the Aztecs in that matchup. Good game. There's some great college basketball slate tonight. Definitely going to be up late watching it all. Can't wait.
Lobo and Viejas there against San Diego State. We move on over to Wayne as we're getting sundown over in Wayne's place.
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna ride with another road team, but I feel like just in the spot with the better team, the line's kind of just favoring the other team a little bit, just basically because they're home. That's that Troy, Texas State. Give me Troy. Rolling in hot, 7-3 in their last 10. Better defensive team, way better defensive team. Offense is not as good as Texas State, but good enough to steal this one on the road. Texas State, as I just mentioned, just don't trust their defense. While they are good offensively, give me the better team here, and better rebounding team, and less turnovers as well. So give me Troy in this spot.
There from Wayne. All right, I tell you what I think here with some of these games here tonight. I'll look at TCU here plus the points here against West Virginia. West Virginia is just really poor defensively in the Big 12, sitting what are they sitting 14th in offensive efficiency. They don't rebound very well. They don't hit their threes. They don't make their free throws. Also weak on the glass defensively here, and over their past 5, hitting just 41%. I'll take the Horned Frogs on that spot. I'll look for Alabama to pound Mississippi State here. Bulldogs 3-7 to the spread against ranked opponents. I think this is all Alabama here over the past 5, hitting 50%. Mississippi State, not a very good shooting team away from their home court, just over 41%. You got to be better than that against Alabama, who can run and score. I like him in that spot. I may butt heads with Rod. Ever since Rod gave me that Illinois cap, all they've done is tank, gone the other way. Give me the points here. These are two bad defensive teams, but Iowa, a pretty good shooting for them. So I'll look for Iowa's offense here to get the cover in that one. Also like Santa Clara plus the points. 5-3 is Dawgz this year. Broncos shooting defensive forms is very good right now. Over their past 5 games. They've covered all their past 5 as well there. And I'm going to take, in the Viejas Arena, I'm going to take San Diego State. That home court is really strong there. Away from home, Lobo is hitting just 43% shooting there. And, of course, Lobo is coming off that 8-point loss at Boise State. So they were not able to win on their last game here on the road there against Boise. So I'll look for San Diego State with that really good home court to get the win and cover there. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. We got you through the college hoops, so now it's time to turn our attention over to the NHL tonight. Big board on the NHL. We'll knock it off in 2 blocks. In the first block, we're just going to cover the 707s. It's just the 707s in this first block from the ice. Here we got Maple Leafs and Bruins here. We see the Maple Leafs $1.54, total 5.5. Stars and Blue Jackets, Stars $1.90, total 6. Penguins and Flyers, Flyers $1.15, total 5.5. Ducks and Sabres, Sabres $1.85, total of 6. Hurricanes, Canadians, we got Hurricanes $2.22, total of 6. We got Flames and Capitals here. The Capitals $1.91, total of 6. And this game, Oilers and Lightning, that will be for the next block. So we'll hold that one for the next block in the NHL. So we'll get this block started off here with Damon.
All right, I'm going to take the Capitals here in the puck line. This is a team, they've got the best record in the league. They won 4 and 5. They've won 4 of their last 5. Excuse me. Scored 15 goals in their last 2 games, and Ovechkin coming off a hat trick. He's getting closer to Gretzky's record, goal record here, and I like the Capitals laying the puck. And I'm going to take the Blue Jackets at home with the plus money. I know Dallas is playing really well, 8-1-1 over the last 10, but Columbus battling for a playoff spot themselves and have been very good at home. 18-6-4 home record. Dallas dealing with a little bit of injuries. I'll take my chances here with Columbus at a nice plus money price.
Yeah, from Damien. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, I agree. Give me Columbus. The way they've been playing at home. And Dallas, here's the theme of the night for you. Teams that are on 3 games in a 4-night situation. You do it in the NBA, you fade the snot out of those teams that are in a 3-game and 4-night situation. Well, tread lightly, or definitely find those teams in the NHL, because there's a lot of them tonight in 3-game and 4-night situation. Dallas Stars included, and Columbus is the better team at home here. Give me Columbus on the money line in that matchup. And going the other way, I'm going to take Calgary, and I hate Calgary. I'm not a guy that wants to jump on Calgary a whole lot, but I've been the guy that all season long, and every time I see Logan Thompson, you're supposed to jump on him and bet him. But everybody's jumping on him and betting him. That topple card is about to topple over, and it's way too many people on that thing now. And again, as Damien alluded to, Washington scored a whole whack of goals in their last 2 games. So guess what? 3rd game, 4 nights for this Washington Capital Club. This Calgary team's got the rest. Want to start off the road trip on the right foot. Give me Calgary on the money line in that matchup. Another one I'm looking at here in this early slate is the Maple Leafs. Hey, the Maple Leafs been rolling right along, right? Winning 6 of 10, playing some great hockey, 35-20 in the season, rolling right along, right? Heading into Boston. Boston lost their last game, and on a nice little losing streak is Boston. Well, guess what? They get to face the Leafs. Leafs coming into Boston on a losing streak. They're 0-7 when they come into Boston in the TD Garden on a losing streak. And the Leafs, 3 games and 4-night situation. Another team with rest. You're going to give me the home Boston Bruin team with this rest and the big plus price. I'll take it. Give me the Boston Bruins on the money line in that matchup.
Yeah, from Rod on over to Wayne.
I do have a little hockey today, but not in this time slot.
On this slot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-throughs. We'll look continue on the ice. We'll knock out the remainder of this card here from the NHL, and these will be the games we're covering. Oilers and Lightning here. Lightning $1.15, total 6.5. Rangers and Islanders here. That battle there, New York. We've got Rangers $1.15, total 6. Panthers and Predators. Panthers $1.56, total 6. Red Wings and Wild $1.15, total 5.5. Kraken and Blues $1.43, total 5.5. Blackhawks and the Hockey Club $2.55, total 6. And that's our last game on the board tonight. So let's get this one underway here with Damien.
Hey, I'm going to go with the Panthers here in this block. That price has climbed a bit from the opening price. But Predators are just 3-7 in their last 10. Scored a grand total of just 24 goals in those 10 games. You got Florida here still battling it out with the Leafs here for the top spot in the Atlantic. They're coming off a real bad game where they got beat 5-0 against New Jersey. I think this is a nice spot for them to bounce back, and I'm going to take Florida in this one.
From Damien, next up we move right on over to Rod.
I agree with you there in that one. Nashville, 3 games and 4 night situation again. So give me the Florida Panthers in that one. And hey, Florida, they lost their first game back from the Four Nations break. And following a loss, we know Paul Maurice gets his clubs up for these games. And then Florida loves to beat up on Nashville following a loss and coming into face the Nashville club. They're 10-0 is this Florida club. So give me Florida in that matchup. I'm looking at the St. Louis Blues here at home in this, taking on Seattle. The Blues should have Binnington in goal for the Blues in this one, but Seattle, 3 and 4 night situation again. So too much hockey for a club. Give me the Blues at home in that matchup. And look at this Detroit club. Hey, they've been hot, right? Playing great hockey. 8 wins in the last 10 games, rolling right along. You get a nice plus price. It's a big bounce back spot. They just lost to Minnesota not too long ago. 3 games and 4 night situation. Tough to go into Minnesota and get yourself a win. I'm going to take the Minnesota Wild in that matchup. And then the one more, 3 game and 4 nights for the Edmonton Oilers.
Sounds like the Russian league.
That's plus price. Yeah, right? This is like you 3 game, 4 nights. You want to play you're getting a plus price with the Oilers. Yeah, jump on it. No thanks. Give me the Tampa Bay Lightning on the money line. Revenge as well for the Tampa Bay Lightning in that matchup. And I know I've heard a lot of rumors and buzzing about the Ducks. 3 games and 4 nights. Don't do it. Don't do it. The Ducks are not a dog you want to be betting on in 3 games and 4 nights. It's a bad situation for the Ducks there in that matchup.
So they do it in the NHL. You get all that time off. They make you pay for it. All right, let's.
And they make you pay for it. Yeah, come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, all these games. On over to Wayne.
Yeah, we're gonna go to this Rangers and Islanders, and at this 6, I feel like we can ride the over, and at worst get the push here. We're riding with 2 teams in their last 5 that have letting 3 or more goals be scored. And on the other side of that, we're also riding with 2 teams who actually been putting the goal in puck in the back of the net. They just been playing a little terrible defense not to be able to squeeze out the win. I just see just continuing. I don't see the defense really stepping up for either team. I do see both teams being able to score to get this 2-6 or over the 6.
There you go from Wayne. All right, we got you through our NHL segment. Now it's time for our Parlay Purple segment where our cappers can give out a parlay, get a team player prop, baseball future. Tomorrow we don't have any nighttime baseball yet. I think that starts next week when we get the prime time late night. Everything's been so far. Everything in the spring has been under the sun. Although the Dodgers are 1-5 in the spring, and I don't know if there's anyone worried. No one's worried. Trust me. There was the World Baseball Classic starting Monday, the preliminary start Monday. So we throw that into the mix as well. So there's a lot going on in baseball as well. We forgot about that World Baseball Classic. So we got that rolling coming next week. But Parlay Purple segment, cappers can give out whatever they want. Game of the future, player prop, team prop. They make the call. We started off here with Damien.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lakers on the money line and parlay that with Luka getting a triple-double. I think he's still kind of a little bit upset about him getting traded from Dallas. Obviously the Lakers are going to run a lot through him tonight. So I think the Lakers get the win on the money line, parlay that with Luka and a triple-double.
There we go from Damien. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
And for me, we're going to go to the NHL. Let's give you a good dog parlay. We're going to take Columbus on the money line, Boston on the money line, Calgary on the money line, and throw in the Roman Alleys on the money line. I think they beat the New York Rangers in that one tonight. The Islanders have been rolling right along. The Rangers, as the theme has been in the NHL, 3 games and 4 nights. Give me the Islanders in that matchup.
The old fader there.
12 teams in the NHL tonight in a 3-game and 4-night situation here in the NHL. That's massive. I don't think I've ever seen that many NHL teams 3 games, 4-night spot on one slate of action. That's nuts.
That's quite a bit. As we said, they got 12 days off, so you pay for it now. So next up, we move right on over to Wayne.
Yeah, let me ride with the two NBA games that I like. That is Phoenix and Memphis under. Over in the San Antonio, New Orleans, and you can throw in Troy money line over Texas State.
Yeah, from Wayne, tell you what I like here. I like I'll go all college hoops here. I like give me Providence plus the points. Cincinnati laying the points against Baylor, and give me TCU plus the points against West Virginia. All right, we got you through the parlay segment and peripheral segment. Let's see what we got for sale over at Pick Dawgz. We're headed to a big week of action in hoops. We're winding down the regular season of college basketball. We're just about a week away from the ASUN tournament. So we're getting ready, very close to these conference tournaments in college hoops, NBA, NHL on the board. So let's take a look at the Pick Dawgz. Let's see what Wayne has for sale right now over at Pick Dawgz. We're headed to a big week of action. So Wayne, what you got going on over at the site?
I have my NBA play today up there. I also have two other plays in the NBA, but that'll be for long-term subscribers. Grab some long-term. It'll get you on these lines early. You can pair me up with one of these top handicappers. No college basketball for me today. Took a little break. It's been a little rough for me lately. So, but the ones that I did like the most, I gave out today on the show. So, you can grab my best bet in NBA. Pair me up one of these top handicappers that you see in the show, and let's get some money for tonight.
Absolutely. Got on board with Wayne over at Pick Dawgz. We have long-term pass will serve you well. Let's see what Damon has to say over at Pick Dawgz. We've had a pretty good NBA season.
We got a pretty big slate over there on Pick Dawgz today. 5 in college basketball, 1 in the NBA, 1 in the NHL. I know we hit a little rough spot here in college basketball, but we're looking to finish up strong and head into tournament action on a positive note. But as always, please, guys, the 3-7 30-day plans are the best way to go. And I always say it, my favorite 2-for-1 capper deal. Hook me up with another one of these great cappers here on Pick Dawgz. Put both of us to work. You'll get the most bang for your buck that way, guys.
Very good. Get on board with Damien over at Pick Dawgz. Long-term basketball well. Remember that 30-day pass covers the remainder of college basketball regular season and conference tournament action there with that 1 month all sports pass. So get on board there with Damon over at Pick Dawgz Premium. Let's see what Rod has for sale over at Pick Dawgz Premium. Rod's been red hot over the last 7 days.
Yeah, I've been heating up over the last 7 days. I went on that 5-15 run and definitely come out of that doing good. So let's continue that success. And it's been thanks to college basketball. I got my 10-star college basketball slam dunk pick of the day. We've hit 4 straight on it, going for our 5th straight there. So definitely scoop that up singly, or that is included in my college basketball slam dunk 5-pack. We're on a nice 20-13 run in college basketball. On a nice run over the last 30 days in college basketball. So heating up at the right time as we head into conference play tournaments and the big dance. So definitely, if you're looking for some straight up college basketball action, I got a long-term pass as well. Reduce the rest of the season pass, $2.99. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll get everything I got rolling in college basketball for the rest of the season. NBA, hey, not too bad on the NBA as well. 4-1 run there. Dropped it yesterday with the Clippers. Late news of Kawhi and got me there in that matchup. So still 4-1. Scoop that up singly. Or I've been light in the NHL. So getting back on the horse, I found one play. My NHL one-timer tonight. It's my only play on the NHL tonight. It's sold separately. Best way to go, though, is long-term here at Pick Dawgz. Why? Because you get to take advantage of the 2-for-1 capper, 3-for-1 capper. Pair all the cappers up you see on this drive-through today and have yourself a winning day. I just could feel it. All of us are excited about today's card, so why not pair up, have 4 cappers put money in your pocket. Take advantage of that over at Pick Dawgz. Use the promo code PICK at checkout as well. Come aboard. We're hot.
That's right. Get on board. Ron over at Pick Dawgz. I got a best bet on the board right now from college basketball. Get on board with me right now, or get on board with my long-term pass. As we said, 3-7 $30 sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period to select. When you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. Multi-capper promotion as well, making it even a greater value there when you get on board with us over at Pick Dawgz Premium. So go ahead and get signed up. All right. That's going to do it here for this edition here of the drive-thru. We're coming back again here tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. Bring our cappers from Pick Dawgz Sports Chat plays. They'll give us their plays for you in real time. Of course, remember, we want to touch with Wayne here because he keeps an eye on the boxing world out there. Anything on after last weekend's card was happened in boxing?
Yeah, Javante Davis and Lamont Roach is a great fight that's coming up. Line should be a little one-sided, so I look to try to find you guys some value. 4-0 my last four boxing bets. Did give Baval out on the site, so congrats to the ones who grabbed that in cash with me. And I continue to try to find you guys some value in the boxing world.
Very good. All right, that's going to do it for the drive-thru. We're back again here live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. You're live with us. All right, before we go, anybody have anything to say before we close it out?
Grab
No,
an anytime
my
point with
slogan.
Ryan. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You giving out a bit. I was just gonna say good luck on all your plays. That's my slogan.
There you go.
Ryan McLeod of the Buffalo Sabres used to be ex-Oiler, now plays for Buffalo. Anytime point. He's been heating up. He's got a point in 4 of the last 5 games, and you're getting a big plus price. Book hasn't changed their price on that. You're getting a plus 145, and he's been hot. And all he's got to do is get a point. So 1 assist, and you cash that bet. Ryan McLeod of the Buffalo Sabres is getting a point tonight.
Yeah, the point there from Rod. All right, that's going to do for this edition of the Drive-Thru. We're back again live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you tune in, like, subscribe, set those notifications so you're live with us to get the plays in real time. We're going to wake up. Bye, guys. You guys make it a winning night. And we're back here again tomorrow on the Drive-Thru.